Shalom to everyone. So as I mentioned in my previous video on why should Bnei Noah join the celebration of Sukkot, even though it's not a Torah commandment for Bnei Noah, it is a commandment for Jews. Nevertheless, as we looked in together in the prophecy of Zechariah in chapter 14, verses 16 and 17, we discussed there that in the future, the nations of the world will come to Jerusalem to celebrate Sukkot with the Jewish people. We expounded on that, explaining that even though it's not a obligation right now to dwell in a sukkah, as a commandment that it is commanded upon the Jews, it is nevertheless a something that Bnei Noah should be doing. Actually, it is to understand and the deeper meaning of Sukkot, which is to reach the level of divine unity here down in this physical world. And what the Sukkah is mostly expressing to us is the level of unity. That's why the entire world looks upon the Jewish people that are united by the Torah and its commandments. So too, this is for the nations of the world. If you want to become the chosen by Hashem, you have to be part of this unity. So in order to understand this a little bit further, I mentioned that we would learn on the verse in the Torah and try to understand this question: why should we actually sit inside of a sukkah? How the sitting inside of a sukkah is going to really help you interiorize the divine unity in this physical world. This is a multi-layer answer. We're going to try to address one dimension of it by visiting one verse in the Torah, in Leviticus. And further, B'ezrat Hashem, we will try to visit further layers to this question, which can bring us to days, weeks, months, and even years of study, B'ezrat Hashem. So it's written in, I will bring it here, in Vayikra, Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 42, the following: Besukot tishvu shivat yamim kol ha'ezrach beYisrael yeshvu besukot. In English, this verse is translated as follows: for a 7-day period, you shall live in tabernacles. Every resident among the Israelites shall live in tabernacles. This is the first verse that we're going to try to address. There are different questions that we can ask on this verse, but we're going to try to address one specific question. The wording used in this verse, please note, it is, Besukot tishvu, you will sit in a sukkah for 7 days. Kol Ezrach beYisrael, all the residents of Israel. Every resident among the Israelites. I want to emphasize here, and this is what we're going to look into, every resident among the Israelites. Now, Rashi explains why is this wording being used here in this verse, Kol Ezrach beYisrael. This is not a current usage of the Torah to refer to the Jewish people, to say Bnei Yaakov, Bnei Israel, that's the Beit Yaakov, that's the common words used by the Torah to refer to the Jewish people. Now here we see Ezrach beYisrael, residents of Israel. Now Rashi explains that this is referring to all the born Jews, and in the next verse that we will see in the next video, B'ezrat Hashem, verse 43, it's saying is referring to all the Jews and all those that join the Jewish people. We will see that in a moment. Now, the wording Kol Ezrach beYisrael, I want to open this new dimension referring to what we mentioned in the prophecy of Zechariah in chapter 14, that in the future Noahides will celebrate Sukkot together with us in Jerusalem. In that future that we are already entering into, as I mentioned in what is the end of days, and we are living the end of days. We are Friday afternoon in this eschatological 6,000-year period of the world. We are in Friday afternoon. We are in the year right now 5,784. We are reaching the end of days where there will be no more days. There will be no more cycles. There will be no separations like there were up to now. The unity will be totally expressed within our physical reality. That is what we are trying to learn on Sukkot. So let us try to understand this for the next couple of 2 minutes. Every resident among the Israelites, you may know that as it stands today, there is a clear separation between holiness and mundane. There's a clear separation between Jews and Noahides. There's a clear separation between the head and the rest of the body of a human being. There is the neck, which separates those two entities. Now, also within the structure of holiness, there is a separation between the different parts in the temple, the holiest of holies, the holy, and then the Zat Kohanim and the Zat Nashim. There are 4 levels of holiness in the temple. Also, comparing the temple and Jerusalem, the holiness of the temple is higher than that of Jerusalem. Compare the holiness of Jerusalem and the land of Israel, the holiness of Jerusalem is higher than the land of Israel. Comparing the holiness of Israel and the entire world, the holiness of Israel is greater than that of the entire world. Now we know from our sages that in the future, and we are entering already in that future, the holiness is going to expand to the entire world in the following manner. The holiness of the temple will expand to the entire city of Jerusalem. The holiness of Jerusalem will expand to the entire land of Israel, and the holiness of Israel will expand to the entire world. What do we mean by holiness? We mean the separation from the mundane. Our minds will no longer be secluded into this egoistic attitude towards life, like we mentioned in our previous video, that we mentioned that the Gentiles, the Noahides, going up to Jerusalem to celebrate Sukkot is to celebrate the unity. It's to be engaged in the project of humanity together as one, together with the Jewish people. So the holiness is to be focused on that goal, to fulfill Hashem's intention for the world, which is to have a dwelling place in this world. And every single human being is to become the dwelling place for the divine. And therefore, the residents of all the world, which will become the residents of Israel, the holiness of Israel will expand to cover the entire world. So the residents of Israel, those that have studied the subject of Sukkot, try to achieve that unity by observing the 7 commandments of the Torah for humanity. They have become citizens of Israel. And as I mentioned before, and it's written in the Sheva Mitzvot Hashem, in the Shulchan Aruch for Noahides, the book of code of law, that all Noahides that accept the 7 commandments and fulfill them because God commanded them to Moses in the Torah on Mount Sinai, they will have a share in the world to come. They will become citizens of Israel. The law precisely mentions that a Jew needs to be concerned by an observant Noahide's life, meaning that if a Noahide lives in a Jewish neighborhood or around Jews, or let's say in a place where there is a majority of Jews, and he's an observant Noahide, the Jews have to save his life. If the Noahide finds himself in drowning in a lake, a Jew needs to jump into the lake and to save him. So you understand from this principle that all the residents of Israel, all the Noahides that are observants of the Noahide code and achieve this understanding of the divine unity that is experimented within the festival of Sukkot, they will become residents amongst the Israelites. And therefore, they will have an inheritance in this level of unity, in this level of rejoicing. And that is what Sukkot comes to express and to teach us. And this will take us several videos and even years to truly try to grasp all of the joy. But from this moment onwards, those that rejoice in the Torah of Hashem in the right way, that associate themselves with righteous Jewish mentors that guide them through the proper understanding of Torah, and that do things for the right reason in the right way, they will, Bezat Hashem, access the joy of eternal celebration by becoming a resident of the world that Hashem envisioned, a world of eternity, a world of joy, a world of unity. May we see that day already this Friday night, as Bezat Hashem we will start the festival of Sukkot. So Chag Sameach to everyone. May you rejoice, and may we see you in Jerusalem, Bezat Hashem, already this year.